If your mom or dad may need assisted living soon, here's a mistake that can cost your family the room, the timing, and a lot of unnecessary stress. Treating the house sale like it's a normal real estate transaction. What matters most is not just getting it sold, it's getting the timing, the coordination, and transition plan right before the window closes. And here's what families find out often far too late. Assisted living communities don't hold the room forever. The deposit may be down, the decision may be made, everyone may be emotionally ready to move, but if the home sale lags, the entire plan can start to slip. I see families make this mistake because they think, let's just list the house and see what happens is the right way to go. But in a senior move, see what happens isn't a strategy. The sale is not the plan. The sale supports the plan. Last year I worked with Elaine after she had been already on the market for a very long time. It was stressful, it was delayed. Her condo had been listed with another agent for more than 100 days, and it still had not sold. Meanwhile, she and her husband had already put down a deposit on an assisted living option that they wanted, and that opportunity was in danger of slipping away. The room could only be held for so long. Stress was really building, time was shrinking, and the house sale was now threatening the move itself. That's exactly where families feel trapped because they are not dealing with just a property problem, they're dealing with a transition problem. Here's the real issue. Selling a senior's home during an assisted living move is emotional, financial, logistical, and time sensitive all at the same time. That's why the normal agent playbook often breaks down in these situations. Families usually focus on one question: how much is the house worth? That matters, but it is not the first question. The better question is, what has to happen in what order so this move goes smoothly and equity is protected? Because when the sequence is wrong, everything gets harder. You can lose leverage by listing too late. You can lose time by making repairs that really don't matter. You can lose the room because the community can't wait indefinitely. And you can lose peace in the family because no one is clear on the timeline. And you can lose money by forcing rushed decisions after weeks or months of unnecessary delay. Bad timing creates expensive pressure. That's the part most families don't see coming. They think the risk is selling too low. Sometimes the bigger risk is waiting too long with no transition strategy at all. In Elaine's case, the stress was not just about getting an offer. It was about whether the next chapter of life was going to fall apart because the first step had not been handled correctly. So what should families do instead? They need a transition-first approach. I call this the equity protection sequence. Step one is to get clear on the real timeline, not the hopeful timeline, the real one. How long can the assisted living community hold the spot? What financial facts matter? What absolutely must happen before move-in? Until you know those answers, you're not ready to make smart housing decisions. Step two is what I call the transition map. This means treating the home sale, packing, decluttering, donation decisions, vendor coordination, closing dates, and move-in timing as one connected system. Because that's what it is. If one piece gets ignored, the pressure shows up somewhere else in that sequence. Step three is the timing gap strategy. This is where experience really matters. You need to know how to position the property for speed without giving away equity. That's a delicate balance. You need a pricing and launch strategy that matches the family's real deadline. And you need someone who understands that speed without coordination can still create a lot of chaos. That is what changed for Elaine. When we stepped in, we didn't just relist a condo, we reset the sequence. We got the condo sold in 4 days, we secured a full price cash offer, we closed in 2 weeks. And just as important as that, we helped coordinate the packing, the clearing out of the belongings, the closing on the condo, and the transition timing with the assisted living so the move could happen smoothly. That's the difference between a real estate agent and a transition expert. A transition expert isn't just asking, how do we sell the property? That's an easy one. A transition expert is asking, how do we protect this family from confusion, delay, and bad timing while still protecting the equity. Clarity creates leverage when timeline gets tight, and that calm matters, especially when adult children are involved. When emotions are high, or when a spouse is overwhelmed trying to carry too much at one time. So let me paint the two paths for you. Path one is the common path. The family waits, they assume the house sale will work itself out, they list with a generic plan, weeks go by, showings slow down, the assisted living timeline gets much tighter, stress goes up. Now every conversation feels urgent. Every decision feels emotional, and the family ends up reacting instead of leading. Path two is the much smarter path. The family gets the facts early, they understand the timing constraints, they create a written transition plan. They know what to fix, what not to fix, when to list, how to coordinate the move, and how to protect the sale from becoming the bottleneck of the entire transition process. That family doesn't just feel more organized, they feel relief. Because once the process is clear, people stop spinning. And that's really what most families need in this season. Not more noise, not more pressure, not more guesswork. They need order. They need someone who can see around corners. They need transition experts. If you're helping a parent move into assisted living, memory care, or a senior living option, don't wait until the placement is in jeopardy to figure out the house. The best outcomes usually come from early clarity, coordinated timing, and a plan that respects both the emotional reality and the financial stakes. So here's the next best step. Before you sell mom's house, sit down and identify three things: the real move timeline, the financial pressure points, and the coordination tasks that could delay the transition. Get those written out. Then get a plan built around those facts. At Senior Smooth Move, this is what we do. We help families create a calm, clear transition plan, so the home sale supports the move instead of threatening it. We're not just there to put a sign in the yard. We're there to help coordinate the entire transition with clarity, dignity, and precision. If your family's facing an assisted living move and you want to avoid the timing mistakes that create stress, confusion, and lost options, go to seniorsmoothmove.com, that's seniorsmoothmove.com, and schedule your smooth move conversation. Because when transition is handled right, the ending feels a whole lot better than the beginning. Don't sell the house before you fix the timeline. If your family is trying to figure out when to sell the home during an assisted living move, start with a smooth move conversation. We'll help you map the timing, the sales strategy, and the transition steps so that you can move forward with absolute clarity. Visit seniorsmoothmove.com. Then sit down with your family this week and write out your real timeline, your move deadline, and the top three things that could delay the transition. That one step alone can reduce confusion real fast. If you're trying to time the home sale around assisted living, watch the next video on senior transition planning. It'll help you avoid the delays and decision mistakes that cost family time, equity, and peace.